Hello? Can I help you?
Hello. I was just trying to kill these boars, but they're apparently not real.
I see.
Das!
How are you?
I'll method it for you. She ain't gonna speak to the doctor again until
Hi.
someone convinces her.
Hello.
Okay, thank you for letting me know, Mel. I would genuinely not want to. Greetings, Lucille. Miss
Hello.
Katinka,
Hey, Dr. Jonathan.
you look
Yes.
lovely today.
Thank you.
I
Good
apologize.
to see you.
I saw Mr.
I
Dusk here
apologize.
just hitting our pigs with his arcane powers.
I can't hit them.
Hmm.
Could you please take control of your friend?
I can't take the control at all.
No one takes control of me. I'm single. Or not
Doctor,
single, free.
You
I'm no
clearly
one's
don't know
servant
many
or slave.
clearly don't know many mages, do you?
He,
My powers.
I haven't seen him for days, so I can't do nothing.
I see. Well, in that case, how are you today, Miss Katinka? I apologize if we interrupted your conversation. I presume that you were at
No.
Miss Lucille. I saw the mount.
Yes, I was. I just, we heard something exploding, so we worried, you know.
Oh, that's fine, Mel. I know that you wouldn't meta me or snipe me in
Didn't
any
know
way.
something
But I wanted to make
was-
sure that
was going on.
there isn't
Something
anything
bad
else
or
you wanted to
whatever.
conclude, for today.
You talk. Dusk, come with me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm talking. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, why don't you start with how are things? I heard that the whole mess between your dukedom and the Duchess of Ravenmore and all her other
God,
companions is finally
that was
done.
ridiculous. Yes, I guess so. I'm just. They agreed that I was a liar. I agreed they was a liar. I think that was about where it came down to. So we just called it a wash. I think that's about where it ended up. I'm not allowed to say anything more.
I see.
If I do, they go to the king, which I said, go ahead. I'll tell him my side of the story. I don't think he's going to have a problem with me telling my side of the story. But whatever.
Well, Miss Katinka, I do appreciate your diplomatic skills in this regard. I understand that sometimes not telling the truth might be considered wrong, but I guess in this case it is probably for the best if you just tell them what they want to hear and let bygones be bygones and focus on the future and for the safety of your people.
Yes. Didn't seem like they were willing to see it at all from my point of view. I did agree that maybe from their point of view, but it was a bit far-fetched.
I see.
Same intonation and same accent someone speaks, evidently. Exactly the same.
Yes, they they actually did the same thing to me. They got insulted by my tone of voice too.
So, I was like, alright.
Well,
It is what it is.
no matter how we
Hopefully-
got there, I am just glad that we finally got there and that there is peace and you don't have to be afraid of them anymore.
And I don't think that I was really worried until I started hearing mercenaries were coming at my door.
Mm.
That was when I started to worry. I said one thing, warned you all, just said keep your eyes open. That was it. And then I dropped it. Next thing I know, it's being brought up like crazy and I'm spreading rumors.
Indeed.
So,
And to give some credit to the Duchess, Lily, she mentioned that she was sorry for bringing all the people to your place and giving you the impression that she was leading an army charging at your home. That was never really
the
her
last time
intention.
I saw that many people, it was the last time the blood mages attacked my kingdom. So it was a bit much, sitting 3 people and 15 people roll up.
I know.
Wasn't quite exactly what I was picturing.
I am so sorry, Miss Katinka. I wanted to tell them, but the patient and doctor confidentiality forbid me of doing so. I wish I could share this detail with them. They would probably understand, but
It's alright. I mean, she came by and apologized the next day, so for that I'm thankful.
That is good.
It gives me, but it also, like I said, now I don't feel like I can talk to anyone because I feel like if anyone's name was dragged through the mud, it was mine. Because I think I had no character witnesses, that's what I wanted to say. But Trava had plenty. So it just looks like I'm a big fat liar, and no one wants to, talk to that.
Of course.
So I feel awkward in not really wanting to talk too much, period.
I understand, but trust that you have friends among us, and we are there for you anytime. And we have no reason to not trust you.
I hope not.
And we also try to be as neutral as possible, and we understand that Ravenmore is currently in a difficult situation when it comes to the attacks of the Blood Mages. So they have
Okay.
bigger fish to fry, as they say.
Agreed.
And I also saw that you are remodeling your lovely place of residence.
It's all done now, I think.
Oh, really?
Oh. Yes, we were putting up a wall, but then the wall disappeared, so I'm guessing it was too much. I don't know. So
Oh boy, was it palisades?
it's a bit open, so it doesn't feel as safe, but I understand if it's giving headaches and such.
I see.
So it's hard.
Well,
The other one way up, one way down. Oh, well, you can see more.
could I perhaps get a tour if you have already concluded your discussion with Miss Lucille?
Yes, I can give you a tour.
That would be very generous of you. Lead the way.
All right. Yeah, so Dusk moved out
Oh,
on the same day that all that happened and said some pretty harsh things to me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know what I did. Evidently, I upset him somehow.
Hmm.
He was calling me Duchess and Your Highness and very proper, which he never does with me.
I see. A bit of passive aggressivity towards you.
Exactly. And then he snapped at me because I was, well, I'm not going to lie. I took a bath in the fountain in town because, well, it was the only place that the water was actually not over my head.
Naturally.
But no one saw. So, but he got quite upset and quite, I don't know, defensive.
Hmm.
That's the word.
Seems like you turned
And then
his
he's-
passive aggressivity towards active aggressivity.
Yes. And then he snapped at me and then said something about how, do I think my parents would approve? He
Oh,
knew my parents longer than I ever would, which hurt because obviously I got 25 years, well, 24, going 24, yes, 24 years with my parents, and he got 107 or more. I don't know how long he's known my parents, but he's known them longer than I have, obviously. So that comment just burned a bit.
I see.
And then he said he was moving to the unnamed city, or outside of it, and said if I needed to see him, I could go there. But you know, I'm not going to the unnamed city or the Denbound, so it was almost like a smack in the face of like, yes, I'm going to say something to hurt you, and I'm going somewhere where you can never come. So, I don't know what I did, but I did something.
Hmm.
For fun.
I do hope that in time you two will find a way back together.
And I hope so. So this will be the entertaining area. We were supposed to put up like, nice little chairs or some
I see.
stuff.
This place feels very one with the nature, even though it's made of stone and I guess it's artificially created. The moss on the walls gives it nice nature feel.
That's what it's supposed to be. And then we've got this way we've got the workshop around, so it goes all the way around. So we've got like a storage room.
Oh, freaking
with,
Chile
like,
would love this.
tables and such. Nothing big.
Oh, that's.
Gone.
I was a bit blindsided by this dancer and her.
Yes, she likes to just keep going.
Indeed. Oh, I am so glad you have reconsidered your choice when it comes to proper storage equipment.
They, yes.
That's a huge bitch. It's like Lord Zarod's.
I think that was part of the problem as well. I think because of that being.
Lord Zarod is a kind of gal, you know.
Bags were not as friendly and
I
stuff.
think you mentioned on Lord Zarod that you had a Vangur entertainer who was always screaming, and you hated it.
So then we've got in here. So like magic room.
I see, very cozy. Everything in its place.
Mhm. And we've got down this hallway. Oh, that's new. Didn't
I
have
don't
that
know,
one
he didn't
before.
like Vangurs.
Alright.
You like them quiet. I see. Yes, that's why he was,
And
of course,
so
dating
in
Synth.
here. This way, it's all in one area, and you don't have to go 20 different directions. And the kitchen cooking area.
I see. Yeah, Valdis and Echo, very soft spoken.
And we've got the upstairs.
Oh yeah, I forgot. He actually also dated Valdis, but then she
Each
went with
person will
Giddy's
have their own
character,
room.
right?
This is Icky's.
Pip, I think.
And then that
He
one
stole the girl. I
think
remember
is
now.
Mercy's? I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure
see.
who's there, actually. This one's
Oh, this is lovely. You have these guardians around.
yes.
Never really dated, but yeah. Fucking Pip. Oh, I apologize. This looks like private quarters. I really shouldn't overstep my boundaries like that.
You're fine. I was just showing, not like I'm, doors wide open, and nothing is happening as such.
I see. It is beautiful and very nicely decorated.
Thank you. I tried.
Ow.
I didn't do that.
I know. Me and Doris, we have a simple misunderstanding.
Yes. And then back in the back, so this is Pan's room.
Oh, this looks awesome. The
I
fence.
haven't decorated it much. He hasn't either, I think. It's just got a bedroom and a carpet and just a candelabra. But it'll be his quarters to decorate however he wants.
Oh, is this because he is too big and he doesn't fit in a normal bed?
I just put it there because he is quite big. Especially if he goes in his wolf form. My goodness.
I see. So he has like a bed extension to support his girthy presence.
Yes, that was good for him. And then we've got, I'm not sure why we have this one, but we used to have a fence here. So, yes, yeah. And then down below is the gardening area.
Oh, look at the view.
The view is quite nice.
I can almost see Lady Belladonna and Lord Draven from up here, from down here.
Oh, don't say that, please.
What? You are not fond of your lovely vampiric friends who find you so tasty?
Exactly, that's the part that I'm not so great about, is that they like fairy blood. Hearing that is a bit off-putting, just a bit.
Well, Miss Katinka, this might come as a surprise, but I know how you're feeling. They also expressed interest in tasting my blood,
Oh, lovely.
right? And tell me,
Why
am
not?
I overreacting if I find it a bit disturbing?
No, it's quite normal.
Thank you.
Because I've been quite skittish ever since I've heard that they like fairy blood, and it's quite appealing. And yes,
Yes, apparently
So-
they like Dr. Blood too, because they were all over it yesterday. Miss Lucille was kind enough to offer it to them without my consent.
oh dear,
Indeed. She put me
she
in
offered
a...
to blood? That doesn't sound like her.
She... very expressively implied that it might be a fun idea for them to taste my blood.
Oh. Maybe she.
I don't want to smear her good name. I don't want to spread any rumors, but her mischievous nature sometimes gets the better of her, and I pay the consequences.
You sure she wasn't joking? I mean, that doesn't seem like something.
She might have been joking, but the vampiric neighbors weren't. They don't joke about blood.
Right. And then Nova's is in the back, and then this one is Lady Una's room right there. So, yep, that's it. So everyone has their own room, and then.
Are you sure? Are you sure this actually?
Evidently, her stuff is stronger than mine, which is really messed up because it looks like she's wearing nothing.
Yes.
I don't understand it.
It
but
it leaves very little for imagination.
I believe me, I know. I have to turn my head every time, especially as tall as I am and where she is. My head goes into her ass every time I'm around her. So yes, it's quite awkward. But yep, it's the whole area here.
I never thought that full moon could be so green.
Yes. It's quite something, that's for sure. But yep, that's everything. So.
Well, thank you so much for this lovely house tour. I wondered what it looks like from the inside, because from the outside it was quite exquisite. I definitely noticed your main architect, of course your fellow Duchess. I believe both of you are Duchess. I presume she...
Double Dutch.
Double Dutch, of course. I presume that she did most of this.
Yes, her and Mercy. She had planned it out, but we were having a lot of naps unexpectedly, which were causing issues. So then Mercy was able to do it without having as many naps. So
that's good to hear. And I do believe that the portal that used to be quite close from here is now in a different spot. I hope that it will help with these headaches.
Hello.
Is
Don't know who that is.
Is the Vatis? I don't know either.
Hello. Two people.
Hello.
Hello. Goodbye. I guess.
Hey, God damn it! I see that fucking skeleton.
Can you please stop
I forgot about Light's letter even.
Ignoring. Have you been saying something to me and following me?
I've been trying to talk to you for the last 3 minutes, and you just pulled it away. For a moment, I thought you were running away from some.
I have heard nothing, Rackmon.
Okay. Sounds like that Duke Lightser that didn't introduce himself to me.
Why are you even running?
Yes, I
so
think it's
much?
Duke Light.
Well, I'm fast.
I presume you must
Okay,
get a lot
that's
of
how, but
encounters like
why?
these, especially these days. Just people trying to catch up with each other and not being able to see themselves and hear their voices and be very confused.
Agree.
Yes, because apparently Mr. Rackmon was following me, and I had no fucking idea.
Oh, it's not like I'm very hard to spot, Light.
Oh, yes, you're just a skeleton running through the forest.
Yes, it's not like there's so many of me running around.
What?
Depends on where you are in the world.
Yes.
True, but I don't think the forest is very prevalent with skeletons.
They're running by. My goodness, everyone's running through the front yard today.
Well, to be
Hello,
fair, you
goodbye.
do live right on the road.
Not exactly on the road, but a bit off of it, yes.
Goodness. Don't be alarmed, Doctor. He's cursed. Sadly, he was dead, but raised back by the bloody blood mages. And he's stuck like this. I've tried to disintegrate him multiple times, and nothing seems to work, really. He just eventually comes back. So we're trying to figure out a way to fix him. Well, basically, we're trying to figure out how to kill him.
Oh, I see.
Does he what?
I heard about your story, sir, and I'm so sorry about your... I don't even
okay.
know if saying I'm sorry for your loss is appropriate here.
I mean, in a way, I guess.
Mm.
It's just a very, very bad situation
Indeed.
overall.
And I'm glad that Duke
You-
Light was willing to help you with your predicament.
I mean, you literally came into my tomb after a wake and asked me if I wanted to join the mercenaries.
He killed all the blood mages I had to kill.
Well, they were just there. What was I supposed to do?
Possibly not kill them, have a conversation, Brakma?
When you rise someone from the dead, you're not exactly in the mood for conversation.
Yes, I know, you tried to kill me 3 times before you put yourself back together and decided to talk.
Hey, it's only 3 times. Garrosh tried more.
Well, Garrosh is an orc. Goodness. But yes, Doctor, apologies. He's not one to be scared of. He's a good skeleton. I promise you that. He actually is quite kind.
I see. He definitely looks very friendly.
Terrifying.
I mean, I do look terrifying, but, well, I try not to be terrifying,
Of course.
which is kind of
Yes.
hard.
We shouldn't judge the book by its cover, and you seem quite well adjusted to your current form, considering the circumstances.
I mean, it's just a way to keep myself going until eventually I find a way to come back to the afterlife. But I guess in the meantime, I just gotta
Sir,
make the best of it.
I apologize if this has already been discussed before, and I apologize for bringing it up again, but if the blood mages were the reason for your resurrection, is there perhaps... is it fair for me to assume that they might be the only ones who will be able to break this and put you back to your rest?
Unfortunate. Possibly, yes. The closest I've gotten to destroying him is 3 weeks.
I see. Perhaps it's only the blood mages who can make it permanent, but negotiating
Yes.
with them might prove to be very difficult.
Well, it usually involves scream, die, kill, I am dead, or get the fuck out. And those have been most of the encounters that I've heard of. So I don't imagine they're going to tell me how to cure undeadness.
Perhaps.
Unless you wanna persuade them, you know, a little bit of.
I will put it on my
Yes, what
to-do
am I going
list.
to do? Yes, let me go and caress them. Maybe perhaps if I dress their face with a light hand, they might be willing to talk to me. Probably try and kill me more, but nonetheless. Yes, unfortunately, Mr. Rackmar's situation, as well as Aura, is practically seething with blood magic. Trying anything else on him is a very delicate matter, because if not, you corrupt yourself, and then it's a bad situation. There's a reason it's taken me so long to even try to kill him for 3 weeks, let alone permanently.
I see. What do you think, Miss
I hope that
Katinka?
one day understand them.
Is there anything that Fey Magic can do for us? For this gentleman?
I don't know.
Is dark fey magic and normal fey magic the same?
I could ask Dusk. Dusk is Dark Fae. I'm
Hmm.
sure he might have some idea.
Wait.
They have a lot of
You
tools.
say he's dark fey as in he's born a dark fey?
Yes.
Oh, God. That just makes Miss Yzma even more complicated. What is she?
What? Is there one that wasn't born a Dark Fae?
Miss Yzma. She's a small little fey researcher. She's part of the Mercenarum. She originally was I just guess a nature fey, just a fey, one of you. And she started turning what she called herself a dark fey, and it's slowly progressing on her. She's found some way to start to cure it, but that just raises even more questions of if she's actually, well, a dark fey. I assumed it was some kind of, most likely kind of like an angel turning into a fallen angel thing. It seems to be more of possibly whatever's going on with this plague. Well, if you can call it that.
quite strange. Dusk has been that way ever since he's been born, so...
So, it seems that I've had so many answers and questions raised today. I think I've probably asked more questions and gotten back more questions. So, my day is just lovely.
Hmm.
Well, Duke,
Sorry to hear that.
I can at least help you with one of these questions, and I can give you my answer to the letter that you left in my office. I read it, and I
Oh,
would like to
yes.
talk in private if you don't mind.
Oh, no, I don't mind at all, Doctor. I do apologize about the note's existence. I was informed by a council member of His Grace that these notes are the ones that I'm supposed to use at people's homes, but apparently not.
Don't worry, I have already. I do believe I'm able to make them vanish.
Yes.
And don't worry, I read it quite thoroughly. I do remember what was in there.
It was quite the long letter.
Well, let us go and discuss it in private. It won't take long. I just wanted to give you an answer to certain questions that were presented in there.
If that's the case, then I'll be on my way. I still have some things to do in the Fighters Guild.
Very well.
I see you back home then, like. And don't get into much trouble.
You know me. Duke of Troublemakers. I really need to talk to Mr. Inquisitor Samael.
Well, Miss Katinka, thank you once again for showing me around your lovely place. I do hope that I can visit again soon when it's even more decorated and even more beautiful.
Look forward to it.
Oh, do tell your wolfie friend that I said hello.
New follower detected.
Thank you so much for the follow.
Pan?
Yes, that's his name. Pan.
Xeno
Tell Pan that I
Angel.
said hello.
I will. As soon as he ever
Thank you.
wakes up.
Oh, yes, he's quite the unique one, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Seems like I have a guard that's never awake. So it's not
How are you?
Well, shall we, Doctor?
Let us walk towards my office, for example.
I was going to say, it's going to be a bit of a walk, so perfect time to chat.
Indeed. Well, Duke, first of all, I appreciate you trusting me enough to be so honest with me, and I understand that things are a bit difficult for you right now because of the actions of some people on our grounds, and I am glad that you provided your side of the story.
Yes. Well, I will say this. I did go and talk to the Duchess of Aramore, I believe, the one just south of here.
Indeed.
Apparently that's where one of my people had even heard it had been started talking around and whatnot. Basically, I had gotten most of it cleared up, which, you know... But put it like this, Theodore. I have had probably in the past 3 days been informed of probably about 20 rumors just of my mercenarium alone. Most of them pertaining either to me or to the demon and dark priestess that reside in my home, which the demon is now gone. But nevertheless, the dark priestess is attempting to seek redemption, and I'm attempting to figure out why the hell everyone is pissed off at me or trying to get my attention. Just as the Duchess said, apparently my reputation precedes me in many places, and I never know why. Because I don't visit many, honestly, I don't.
People probably associate these individuals with you to the point where they think that you are not only providing them with shelter and refuge, they might also think that you are enabling them to do these things. That is of course not
Yeah.
true. From my honest opinion, I don't see you as someone who would do such a thing.
No. Well, just as I said, the demon, the Archdemon Archon, he actually has been, in a sense, we gave him his, termination letter today. His actions and, well, I guess it's just general presence, as much as I do care for the man and wish for him to have a good, cold, warm roof and meal in his belly, he unsettles far too many people, and there's far too many religious groups that would wish to purge him, and they wouldn't mind coming through the rest of us to do so. My family's lives are not worth such things, and as much as I wish to be kind, sometimes I must be a bit cruel.
Of course. He called me a snake and basically threatened to kill me, so I understand where you're coming from.
Yes, he is not a man of science or magic. He is very much a man of chaos and madness, his own words.
Indeed. At least he's honest with his intentions and he never really lied to you.
Yes, that is one thing I will say. He was truthful to the end.
Indeed. For a demon, he was
However-
quite devious and, well, at least straightforward.
I was going to say, yes, quite the straightforward one. Normally, I've encountered a few of them in my lifetime, but none as straightforward as Archon.
Indeed.
Nevertheless, I did have to, well, I guess I had to talk to Lucille about his words about you. And just as you said, he called you a snake. He had quite a few words about you to Miss Lucille, which I'm glad that I could get rid of.
Well, if bad guys consider you to be a bad guy, then what does it make you?
I guess their boss.
That's probably true. I guess this metaphor didn't really serve the purpose I intended it to.
I did understand what you were getting at, though, Doctor.
For
If the bad people call me the bad people, well, then I must be the good people.
yeah, well, apparently I'm the crime lord that has yet to reveal himself, and
Yeah.
Kingpin.
I mean, that
Jonathan.
lovely hair of yours. That lovely hair of yours does just shout crime lord, doesn't it?
Thank you. Yes, it kind of does. I guess I should wear a hat or something.
Oh, come now. Oh, goodness.
Let us close the door.
Yes, I apologize. I would have closed it myself. Unfortunately, I can't sometimes.
Well, Duke, I thank you for coming here. I actually apologize for dragging you all the way back here.
No. I've been traveling, and eventually my travels will. When I need to go, trust me, I will let you know, or I will find a way away. Because sometimes I will just run away from conversation.
I see. That's only fair. You are a duke and you have responsibilities that are far more important than having a little chat with a doctor like me. But
Come now, Doctor.
I
You were
understand.
quite liked among all the dukes.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. That might change in future because of some of my actions, but I guess that's why I want to talk to you right now before anything else transpires. There was a new development in regards to your issue with Miss Alina. Let me ask you for a favor first, because you also asked me for a favor.
Yes, please.
Although you were well within your rights to shoot her back with that arrow, and although she was lying and spreading misinformation about you, I would really appreciate if you could forget it and perhaps even accept partially the blame for those actions. Miss Alina unfortunately was agitated and she wasn't exactly in the best state of mind, and she may not openly regret her actions, but I don't believe she intended to smear your name or lie about you or cause you any issues. She might have just been too proud and she couldn't really find a way how to properly resolve that situation diplomatically. As a duke, you probably understand that not all of us are capable of such delicate matters.
Yes, there's a reason I only have two people in the king. Well, I guess in the dukedom that can really speak for the kingdom itself. Well, dukedom. I'm sorry. There's so many titles at this point. I'm losing my mind. No, I do understand, Doctor. And as I said, after speaking with Aramor, it is simply old water under the bridge.
That is good. Miss Alina is currently dealing with some other matters, and I hope that this matter will not. I do hope that it will conclude and we can all move on. And since you're so understanding and so willing to do this for me, I know that you don't need this for me, but I still appreciate that you asked me for certain approval in regards to Miss Lucille.
Yes, the rest of my letter.
Yesterday, when I stormed into her house and angrily knocked on the door and demanded her attention, that wasn't in regards to anything you have done or anything that would concern you. That was merely something that I wanted to avoid in future, because Miss Lucille did something that caused me concerns and concerns to other people. But I do believe that she wouldn't do it again, and she learned her lesson. I merely wanted to be a stern principal for a moment, to let her know how serious some things can be and how unfortunate certain consequences can be. And I think she understood what I was trying to say, and she wouldn't do it again.
Yeah, Miss Lucille definitely can understand. How do I say this? I can't say it in any nice way. I apologize. I'm more of a blunt man myself, as you said. Orders seem to work very well for her. If, in a sense, you can tell her to do something or that something is wrong, she seems to accept it better, though she is, at least from my experience with her, a bit mischievous at times.
I agree with your assessment, and that is what my hope was regarding that action. I'm glad that you understand that I didn't mean to cause any faux pas, and I apologize if the whole incident was a bit embarrassing.
Oh, no, Doctor. Us fire elves actually don't have any issues with skin revealing, is the best way to put it. It's more of a sense of I was worried that I had possibly angered you. As I said in the notes, I see you as a guardian, as does she, Doctor. She sees you very highly, believe it or not. She regards you very well. And I know that, well, I feared in the worst sense possibly you had taken offense that I had not come in and spoken to you first. I was born into nobility, you remember this.
Of course.
So, for me, I guess it's more proper for me to come to you first. I do hope you know I have done nothing with her. I do know her situation, probably
So
not
funny.
as best as you do, obviously, but I do know some of it to an extent. And I'm trying to assist in, well, I guess the orders you gave her of being happy.
Exactly. And I'm glad to hear that she was willing to share some of her private and personal life with you. That only tells me tells me all I need to know. She trusts you and she finds your presence good for her. And in that case, I have absolutely no reason to not give you my full support in regards to courting her. I do hope that you two will be good for each other, and I only want what's best for Miss Lucille. And if it can be found with you, then please go ahead and try. But please be gentle with her. She has been through a lot, and although you have been too, what can sometimes happen is that people in these similar situations can both elevate themselves, but they can also pull each other down.
Make each other quite worse.
Indeed. There is a potential for escalation, and it is something I would rather avoid. So please, as a duke, be careful and be gentle with your approach, and let things play out slowly.
I am watching quite a few things. Doctor, my skin if I were to touch you currently, it would feel as if you just touched a hot piece of metal straight out of the forge. I'm currently sitting at about 150 degrees. I am extremely hot, in the most relative term that I can say. I have to be extremely careful in any regard of touching her or even being near her, as I can harm her, and I know that pain can sometimes, well, make her past come up a bit. So I do need to watch it, and it is something that I'm actually trying to find something to lessen my heat or increase her resistance to.
I see. You are correct in your assessment. And not just that. She seeks thrill and adventure. I think you already know that, but I guess if she finds this with you, at least she is doing it in a relatively safe way with someone both of us can trust, both me and her.
Well, I do appreciate that, though.
So
And
yes.
I won't take her to, well, dangerous areas. Not to say what those are, but there are many. But yes,
Of
I
course.
do tend to try and watch for her.
I appreciate
Speaking
I appreciate
do that soon.
your caution and your delicate approach.
It is not needed, Doctor.
I'm glad we had this
Yes.
conversation. I do wish that your reputation will be repaired
Better.
and better, yes. Because I don't think that you deserve all this bad reputation that has been... I don't even know who's spreading it or why they're spreading it. I understand some of
Gods
it
would I
seems-
love to know.
Yeah, seems uncalled for. Because from what
Yes.
I witnessed myself, I don't know. Perhaps people feel threatened by your presence, and perhaps it's a merely political game, a smear campaign. Perhaps someone's trying to overthrow you, but I'm not a politician, and I'm definitely not a duke, so what do I know? I can merely speculate.
Overthrow me, dear God. Who wants to overthrow a duke, of all things? Perhaps they want my title as Fire Lord, but that's a title to a dead kingdom.
Well, the title is a title.
I guess so. Titles do hold sway no matter where you stand, apparently.
Indeed, and people gravitate around these titles.
Yes. Just as Miss Lucille has said, apparently she has many suitors, but none of them are as interesting as me, which I don't see how that is even a fucking possible, Jonathan, but
Well,
I think I'm quite the boring man.
why don't you go ask her and to see if you can work on that a bit more. Maybe she's at home.
Perhaps I can. Thank you, Mr. Jonathan.
It was a pleasure.
To you as well, my friend.
Farewell, Duke.
Mm.
Oh, it was nice. Alright, I'm so sorry guys that I ignored the chat. I definitely have a lot of things to say. But I have also noticed that there is a note here. The log shows signs of tampering, scratch marks that were almost erased, and the log was buffed immaculately clean. Several of the books in the room have been aligned to be straight. Oh boy! Oh boy! That's interesting. Ooh! I wonder who this was, but I have a feeling it might have been Mel. Oh, that's awesome. Well, at least she wasn't here. So I think it's... How would we interpret this as Jonathan? The log shows signs of tampering. Scratch marks that were almost erased, and the log was buffed immaculately clean. Several of the books in the room have been aligned to be straight. was almost expecting her to be here. You know what? I think this calls for a consultation. Mr. Kairos. Is he around? Mr. Kairos?
Yes?
Would you have a moment of your time? I do need to consult something with a man of your talents.
Oh, certainly.
Follow me, please, to my office. Can you please verify the sturdiness and integrity of my lock on these doors? I have noticed something unusual, and I'm not quite sure what to make of this. I'm myself not exactly skilled in the arts of tampering with these devices, but I do believe that you are. Oh, this is awesome.
I mean, hold on 1 second.
It's probably DMing Mel, asking her whether he can find something, you know. All I basically need to know is whether I can pulls out a self lockpicks. Whether I can use the information that someone was probably in my room. Oh, this is exciting. I love this. Okay.
I mean, the door itself looks sturdy. It looks pretty difficult to lock. The one thing that I would suggest is perhaps adding an additional covering, as you can see in and see the shape of what would be needed to, I would say, jimmy the lock open.
I see. So it is entirely possible that someone could get in without a key.
It is plausible. I mean, they would need something of roughly the approximate shape of the key. So, but with the covering on the lock, you may want to add a little covering onto it that prevents people from seeing the shape that the lock would take, and that would ensure that it cannot be picked.
I see. That is good to know. Thank you. I will definitely keep that in mind.
It did look like it had been messed with before I actually attempted it. Do you think that somebody has tried to get into your room?
I don't know, but I guess I shouldn't have trusted that shady salesperson who offered me these doors, and he told me that no one could get in and no one could get out without my key. I guess I was scammed.
I mean, theoretically they cannot, but with how it is currently set up, I would advise there is a small adjustment that you can make that means that people cannot see the shape of the key.
I see. Perhaps I should have read the manual a bit. I should have invested a bit more time to it. So it's my fault.
Yes, probably.
Oops.
But it is a small. It is a small change. Do not worry. It is a small change. But it is one that I cannot make. It appears that this door is locked only to you. But yes,
I see. Well, thank you so much for your expertise. I definitely need to improve my safety. And the safety of my patients, of course. I do keep confidential my journals in there.
oh, I assumed it was just a bedroom.
Yeah, well, I need to keep them somewhere. I guess should have been more careful.
I mean, considering how you always have your door open, it is pretty safe to assume that somebody would, if you kept them down here, somebody would be able to peek at them.
That is true. Well, I have a lot to think about, that is for sure. Thank you so much for your help.
No problems.
I knew that when it comes to lockpicks, you would be the right person to ask.
Yes, I do have quite the past on me.
Indeed. It's all in the past.